Good evening, I'm Brett Baer. The U.S. has begun flying surveillance drones over Syria. While it is possible the next step could be airstrikes against ISIS terrorists in that country, the Obama administration continues evasive maneuvers when it comes to articulating its specific policy. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry has more tonight on the mixed signals coming from the president. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Brett. The U.S. military today launched 2 more airstrikes in Iraq. That brings the total to nearly 100 airstrikes just in the last couple of weeks. And those surveillance drones flying over Syria tonight are a sign that the president may be about to expand this mission.
We are patient. Justice will be done.
Speaking to the American Legion in Charlotte, President Obama left the door wide open to expanding U.S. airstrikes into Syria as he vowed to go after Islamic militants from ISIS after the grisly murder of American journalist James Foley.
And rooting out a cancer like ISIL won't be easy and it won't be quick.
Except the president has talked tough before about launching airstrikes in Syria. 1 year ago this week, in fact, only to stop after taking a walk on the South Lawn with his chief of staff, Dennis McDonough, and declaring he'd prefer to get approval in Congress first. In fact, last night, the White House posted an Instagram photo of the president taking a new walk on the South Lawn with McDonough, leading critics to wonder if he'll pull back again.
The president, I think, used Congress a year ago to basically to constrain himself. He didn't want to do what his administration had been talking about. John Kerry, remember, gave a very stark speech about the prospect of U.S. strikes in Syria.
The deliberations come as the Free Syrian Army, the moderate rebels, claim an American from San Diego named Douglas MacArthur McCain allegedly died in Syria last weekend fighting on behalf of ISIS.
Certainly out of respect for the family, we're not going to be adding any more comment at this time.
The president continued today to say he will not send ground troops to the Middle East, and the solution is not a military one.
We're urging Iraqis to forge the kind of inclusive government that can deliver on national unity and strong security forces and good governance that are ultimately going to be the antidote against terrorists.
Republican Doug Collins, an Iraq War veteran, countered the president needs to lay out a plan that more directly takes the fight to ISIS.
For those of us in looking at this situation who've been in Iraq and have served in Iraq, the concern we have is that we have seen a country fall apart. We left them. They were not ready to defend themselves. A terrorist organization that is more brutal than most any we've ever seen is now taken over.
Only a few weeks ago, the president denied pulling out of Iraq was his fault.
What I just find interesting is the degree to which this issue keeps on coming up, as if this was my decision.
Yet today, to the American Legion, the president took credit for withdrawing.
We removed more than 140,000 troops from Iraq and welcomed those troops home. It was the right thing to do.
Now, as for Syria, Democratic Senator Tim Kaine is demanding that the White House define a strategy to go after ISIS and then have a debate and vote in Congress, something the White House is not yet committed to. Brett?
Ed Henry live on the North Lawn.